Wow. Listeners, are you seeing these structures? It's honestly like a cemetery. It looks like a bunch of tombstones, but kind of muddy and piled up. A little bit like shields or castles or fortresses. Well, if you touch them, well, this side is pretty warm, but if I put my hand on the other side that's in the shade, yeah, that's pretty cool. There's something going on here. Do you have any idea what built these? So they look a little bit like tombstones. They're flat. It's dark on one side and light on the other because of the angle of the sun. And they're fairly rectangular. Let's do some more exploring and see if we can figure it out by the end of the theme song. These structures were made by a tiny creature, really tiny. Often we think of these creatures as destroying wood, which they can. But here in northern Australia, these structures are built by termites. Specifically, compass termites or magnetic termites. These structures, let's see, the sun is over there. That's south. Yep, I've got it all figured out. All of these structures are facing the same way. Their faces are toward the east and west. If you look at them from the side looking north, they're thin, like shields. They are lined up north to south so that their broad sides face the east and west. Now, before we talk about why, I want you to think for a little bit. Why would they build these mounds so that they are aligned north to south with their faces to the east and the west? I'll give you a hint. Here in northern Australia, it can get very hot during the day. By the way, since they're all lining up their mounds almost perfectly north and south, that's why they're called compass or magnetic termites, because somehow they know to build this way. And you know what, listeners? It's really remarkable. Imagine that you have the job of building a skyscraper. However, you have no plans, you can't see, and you can never step back to take a look to see if the structure is correct. And you have to work together with 10,000 other people, and none of you have any plans. Doesn't that seem impossible? Yet that's exactly what the termites do. They work together, building these structures, and they have no paper plans. They can only communicate with chemicals, no talking, no sounds, and they do it while they are in their structure. Somehow, God has put it in them so that they know this structure is right. To think about these termites, the fact that they are even in existence, even alive, is a clear miracle. The more you study it, the clearer it becomes. But the existence of life becomes even more complex because you have these organisms who are working together without being able to see what they're doing, not being able to make plans on paper. They can only communicate with chemicals, and somehow they are able to align these structures all independently within their own colonies, north to south. How is that possible without intelligent design? If life is random, like some people say, and it just happened by accident, which I do not believe, then how is it that these creatures can work together in an organized fashion to design something? You cannot have something that creates design that was not designed. It doesn't work. These termites, to me, show one facet of the amazing complexity of life. These guys are amazing what they're doing. working together to build structures that they can't see. It's fabulous. Way to go, compass termites. Yeah, let's have a celebration. Woo! But before we go any farther, it is time to get back to our termites. Why do they build them north and south? Well, as if it weren't amazing enough that they are building at all. They are designing and building their structures north and south because as the sun rises in the east, it's been chilly all night, and that sun hits that broad side of the surface and warms the whole thing up. Warmth at the beginning of a day. Does it get much better than that? I think not. But then when the sun gets to the middle of the day, does the sun get more intense and more hot or cooler? Well, of course, we know it gets hotter. When the sun is overhead, it is hitting the thin, narrow top and front part of the colony's mound, and there's not as much absorption of the sun's radiant heat, so the nest doesn't get too hot. Then as the sun gets lower in the sky and it begins to cool off, the western face is able to absorb that heat for the night. So throughout the day, even though the temperature is changing quite a bit from day to night, the inside of the mound stays relatively even temperatured. Compass termites. Amazing. Perhaps some of the world's best engineers. By the way, listeners, this is not even counting another style of mounds. We're only focused on these shield mounds. There's another type that does similar work, but they make chimneys inside, and it's incredibly complex. And humans can take those ideas and incorporate those ideas into their own building projects. That's called biomimicry, by the way. But the largest structure they found is 13 meters tall, not feet, meters. That's approximately 40 feet tall. Now these are little termites, like a half an inch maybe. If they took these guys and scaled them up, their structures, based on their small size, would be twice the height of our tallest building, the Burj Khalifa. So they are building taller structures compared to their own size than humans build with our advanced technology and machinery. And they're not doing it with cranes. They don't need papers. They can't even talk. Boom, Shalila. You go, compass termites. We're going to celebrate again. Ready? Go, termites. Go, termites. It's your birthday. Go, termites. Speaking of termites. Termites. Speaking of birthdays, we have some birthday announcements. Are you all ready? We have some birthdays to announce. Happy birthday to Clarabelle. I hope you are as industrious as a termite. Happy birthday, Rory. And actually, thank you both, not only for having birthdays, but for supporting the podcast. Welcome to the podcast team. Happy birthday, Arthur. Happy birthday, Audrey. Happy birthday, Emmy. All of you are having birthdays in March. But wait, there's more. Josiah, you just had a birthday, didn't you? Happy birthday to you. I hope you all are having fantastic birthdays in March. You're March babies. You're marching along in life. Thank you for supporting the podcast. Thank you for celebrating with us. Woohoo! You and the termites are having a birthday. We also have some supporters. We have Rye and Isla. Thank you for supporting the podcast. What? We have Rush Moody. Yeah. Paulina, Amelia, Madeline. Thank you all for supporting the podcast. You are all a part of the team. And because of your support, it spurs us on to keep producing more episodes. And speaking of more episodes, it is time. It has been a long time since we've had a mystery sound. Here to help us with this episode's mystery sound is one of my students, Keira. Keira, here's the sound.
I have no clue. It sounds like a fly. No, like a whale. It sounds like a whale.
Any particular whale?
No, just like a whale. I don't know. I don't know anything about whales.
What do you think, listeners, that is the sound of? Find out next time. For now, I'm Moose Jaw Matt. Until next time, keep exploring your world. Woo-hoo!